Have you showered in any of these yet?
Yes, I have. It's, you know, you have full height. These are, by the way, these are high cube containers, so they're not as small as a traditional container.
If I walk through this building, we're essentially in a steel box, and
Yes.
these things are meant to be hammered on the ocean.
Yep.
Shipping stuff, and you can't have anything damaged on the inside.
Right.
So we're in a pretty secure, durable building.
Yes, I wasn't interested in the low top because it feels too
It
confined.
feels bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of homes are 9-foot ceilings or thereabout, unless you go for higher vaulted ceilings. So this still feels somewhat homey, but not claustrophobic.
Yeah.
You know, I try to tell people, if you can imagine living in a cruise ship, it's more like what the 20-footers are as far as space goes. And the reason I picked the 20-footers was it's less than half of the 40-footers, and I could have 2 separate guests. So my return on the investment was faster.
Have you ever had 2 separate guests at the same time?
Yes, almost all the time.
And they're aware, obviously they're aware that
Yeah, one of the
somebody
things,
can be in that unit, someone else can be in this unit.
Yes. One of the things about Airbnb is, you know, you're on a property where I live, and there is another unit. That's what I do say in my listing is 1 of 2.
1 of 2, right?
Yeah. So it's,
I noticed you have a raised bed here. Is there storage underneath
yes,
the bed?
you can lift this up. There is storage. However, it is somewhat difficult with all the bedding made on it to access it. If I were to do it again, I would make this open underneath or drawers.
And what size is it?
This is one of the most difficult things. It's called a full extra long.
Okay.
So it's the length of a queen, but the width of a full. So you have nice length, but it's harder to find sheets and bedding for.
Right.
But once you do, you know where to go.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff was Target and Amazon for most everything here.
Yeah, once you do it once, you can just keep repeating.
Yeah, and you do need to buy like 16 of everything. So I can flip these around in 1 hour. You can set that up with Airbnb any way you'd like. You can have a day off. You can take you can book or not book anytime you want.
Do you have cleaners, or do you?
I do it all myself.
You do it all yourself?
Yes.
So you charge a cleaning fee, obviously, right?
I do.
So is it a little bit of an extra income? Could you say that?
Yeah.
You're generating a little bit of revenue from the actual Airbnb or the short-term rental.
Sure.
Then you're also getting a little bit of a cleaning fee too.
Yeah, but you know, it comes with 4 to 5 loads of laundry every time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you know that I charge $40 no matter what. Whether it's 1 day or 16 or 30 days, it's
Wow, that's
$40.
probably one of the lower cleaning fees.
It is, but again, it's 20 feet.
Yeah.
You know, I try to make people realize what you're getting. You have a nice oasis, but at the same time, it's 20-foot box.
Have you seen disasters yet?
You know, I've had people that come and just have food and crap strewn everywhere.
Yeah.
So again, it's more or less 2%, 1% bad apple of the 190 guests that I've had in 2 years.
I think you could actually make a full series on probably like short-term rental stories.
Sure.
Disasters, something like that.
Yeah.
But off camera, you would actually mention like there's a majority scenario where everyone's easy, clean.
Yeah.
You love having them.
Airbnb is kind of a review system. It's good and bad. I try to make it a point to interact with every guest that comes in. I say hello and tell them, hey, if there's anything, please contact me directly. Kind of gives them that hey, this guy really cares about what's going on here. But you know, there's probably 2% that have been terrible that I never want to come back. And I think I've only left 3 or 4 bad reviews the entire 2 years that I've been here.
Out of near 200.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're at like a 1.5% fail rate, which is just tremendous.
Right.
98% is a success.
And again, I'm pretty easygoing. I don't want to make it so it's, you know, I've looked at other Airbnbs that I've even looked to stay at, and some of the rules are 10 pages long. To me, that's not vacation. You know, there's other competition out there. There's hotels, there's other places to go. And I want you to stay here and have a nice time. And I want you to tell your friends, you know, this is unique. Obviously, the containers bring that unique opportunity. Not everybody has ever stayed at me, so it's kind of something fun to do. So a lot of people want to try it.
It's very different from just going to a hotel, and you're right off the water anyway.
Sure, I've got great access to the beaches, you know.
For sure, a different experience.
Restaurants, all kinds of things. People come here for weddings. I've had people come as far as Germany and the UK, so it's not just been locals. I do have a few locals that come and stay just to escape.
Do you notice you have regulars a lot?
I do. I'd probably say 10% are returners.
Yeah.
You know, others are just people coming in for a wedding.
As I question things, or you've mentioned them several times, is like your ship lock, the lock on the door.
Yep.
What options did you have to paint on the exterior? What options did you have to pick and choose from? Did they ask you if you wanted these things? Did you come up with the
ideas?
Well,
there was, the door itself could have been put over here. And I wanted to have the door opening here so I'd have access to my pool and have a view of the gardening. Yeah. This window obviously could have been here. You could put windows over here.
So if I was looking into a unit like this for my short terms, come in, I assume you pick and choose where you want the doors, the windows, the AC unit.
Yep.
comes with the blinds? Did you add the
No,
blinds?
everything in here, with the exception of the cabinetry, I added myself.
Okay.
I added the slider as well, as far as the glass enclosure. Didn't come with that. We installed that on site because you can't deliver it with the glass.
Sure.
All the cabinets were taped up as I delivered them as well.
Can I walk through this unit and ask what was done after purchase and
Sure.
what was, a lot of things might be like special ordered.
Yes.
It seems that way with Containing Luxury and how you did it.
Back in the day when we did this 2022, getting material was still difficult. Getting these doors, which are impact glass, everything in here is hurricane rated. So as if it was residential property here in South Florida.
Right.
So these were special ordered, and it took forever to get here, 8 weeks or more. These guys can build a container in I think 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yeah. And then add the impact glass, the hurricane the hurricane doors and everything else. This is built for a Florida lifestyle or to really sustain some durability.
Yeah, obviously you have lighting, everything's insulated to code. These things are built to residential code. You've got stuff for the fire marshal. He's got his CO2 and his smoke detectors. Everything is done proper with plumbing, electrical, everything is to code. So even on the back side, it has a spot where you could connect it to a generator if you wanted to as well.
So that was another one of my questions too, is insulation. Whether I'm in Florida, I assume you want to keep the cool air in. If I'm up north, I want to keep the hot air in.
Right.
Did they go over insulation choices for you based on what you were doing with it?
Well, obviously they live here, they construct here, they're building for South Florida. I don't know what they're doing for areas that require more heat. They use something called InsoFast, which is a corrugated foam built in across. They stack them, and it's got holes that run through it for your cabling for your wire. And that's got a great R value that exceeds most homes today.
Okay.
And then there's some batting, I think, in the ceiling that's up above these. Okay. So that's traditional foam insulation.
So if I start right from your window and I walk through, I'm just going to point at things, and can you tell me if it was included, optional, or after the purchase?
Sure.
So if we start with the window was optional, and you got to choose your location.
The location, the window was included, but where?
Right.
So you wanted here or there.
Okay.
I started with a base foundation, and then we just kind of switched things around. They didn't charge me for any of that.
And then your recessed lights?
Recessed lights came with it.
Okay, and the shiplap was
an extra.
After purchase, or they did it for you?
They did it for us on site during construction.
And then it's run for cable, internet, all the...
Just the power. So I have wireless internet, which is a challenge, through a metal box, through a metal roof house. So I have an access point right there that connects to another access point that's on top of my basketball.
So are these range extenders? Is that how it works?
Yeah, they're called satellites, if you will, if you know what those are with regards to Wi-Fi. So I have the main unit in the house. That's an extender on the pole. And I have each one of those in each.
So you're still able to pick up your home Wi-Fi?
Yes, it's a challenge. Some days it's great, some days it's not.
So these units, you can run cable internet directly to them.
Sure.
They're made of solid steel.
Yes.
So Wi-Fi can be a little difficult, and you've kind of figured out how to overcome that challenge by having these range extenders and satellites.
So there are challenges there, unless you wanted to actually bring a hardcore feed in, which you could do. The shelving I added after the purchase, the microwave, the refrigerator. I've got little tables and chairs for people to sit and eat. They're just like TV dinner chairs.
So you're getting sink, counters, cabinets, shower. What did you say about the glass for the shower?
So that was an enclosure we added after the fact, talking to Blake, because one of the things, do you want a shower curtain or would you prefer a shower glass enclosure? When I chose that route,
So that was an option, and Containing Luxury installed it for you
on
after
site. Same thing with the air conditioning was installed on site, but it was included in the package.
Once the unit showed up, how long before it was up and running?
Really, I think since we had 2 units, it was probably 2 days. Obviously, making sure everything's leveled is the key, because things want to keep shifting on during delivery, but you get it set and leveled here. And then they installed the air handler inside and the compressor unit outside, and installed, had to make these. So these slider doors kind of come off the tracks when you deliver them, so they kind of put them aside.
Oh, okay.
And then the shower door. Those were pretty much the only things that were installed here. So I had to trench from the main house underneath with pipe and wire all the way over there to get power. Now my house is fed with solar, so the entire property runs on solar.